all our neighbors should be able to hear that we are gathered here to celebrate the appearance of Sri Ram in Ayodhya. We may not be physically present there, but nonetheless, at least mentally through our hearts, we can be present. Let us extend our presence to the devotees who are there in Ayodhya. So many are gathered there to celebrate the appearance of Sri Ram, and let them also know. Maybe our voice may not reach them, but definitely it should reach the neighbors. Let them know that we are here to chant the glories of Sri Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Raghupathi Raghav Raja Ram. Raghupathi Raghav Raja Ram. Sita Ram Jai Sita Ram. Sita Ram Jai Sita Ram. Bhakta Hanuman Jai Bhakta Hanuman. Bhakta Hanuman Jai Bhakta Hanuman. Bhakta Hanuman Jai Bhakta Hanuman. Sita Ram Jai Sita Ram. Sita Ram Jai Sita Ram. Hare आती है? लिटिल
आती है।
आती है? अच्छा। वृंदावन में बहुत सुंदर बोलते हैं, बहुत सुंदर कहावत है। जब भी कीर्तन समाप्त होता है बोलते हैं जय जय श्री राधे श्याम सबको मिले श्री वृंदावन धाम। तो the mood is for those who couldn't follow. In essence, it says all glories to Radha and Shyam, all glories to Sita and Ram, and those who participated, those who chanted, may they get the land of Shri Vrindavan Dham, may they get the land of Ayodhya. Whatever their heart desires, whatever the cherished desire is there of the heart, may that be fulfilled. So with that desire and with that endeavor, all of us have gathered here on a Friday evening. We could have been there in so many other places. The movies, Netflix subscription is there. We could have taken advantage. If you are in North America and you have to use.
Not me! Not me!
Oh really? The youth? Oh, it's not okay. They want to make their presence felt. Is there some engagement for the day? Kids are waiting. Kids are so attractive.
We can go this time. Sorry, I'm so bad.
Oh, you all are also participating? बोला छोटे बच्चे को ये भी निकल गए।
What? Oh my goodness.
Is my voice audible for those sitting behind? Everyone?
Yes.
Everyone can hear me?
Yes. Somehow.
So thank you so much for coming. Very kindly assembling here. Thank you so much to our hosts who have opened the doors, not just of their house, opened the doors of their heart also to invite so many people. Inviting is easy. Coming here and sitting and speaking is more easy. You know what's more difficult? Making the prasadam for so many people. Because if speaker is not there, you can have another speaker and the program can continue. If there is no one for Kirtan, you can still have some recording, program chalega. If prasadam is not there, devotees don't come. It is a known fact. Please come. Slide yourself ahead. In New York, I remember when I was there is a yoga studio called as the Bhakti Center. It is run by His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj. Probably you would have seen on social media. So he has a yoga studio where a lot of Americans come. And they would all be in their sleeveless and big tattoos and shorts. And generally we see, whenever a discourse is going on, we sit cross-legged and we hear. And those who are there, who are local Americans, they nicely stretch their legs. Because speaker is sitting, they will nicely stretch their legs. In front of the speaker, they will be sitting like this. So it's very difficult for the speaker to gauge whether he is there in the discussion or whether he is waiting for the class to end. And believe it or not, they would think that's a form of yoga. Aage sarakna, or to come ahead, they would think that's one form of yoga. And it's very interesting. You just play with the words and you can get the attention back of the audience. So I hope we are all settled. The bacha party is all settled here. Once again, thank you so much to everyone present, to the host, to Srinivas Sharan Prabhu, who's sitting behind in green
I did
kurta.
not do anything. I did not cook prasad. I did not open the doors of my house. It is Shweta and Nitin.
He drove me all the way from Sanamish, not just me, myself, Mohit Prabhu, and also Riya. And it's quite a distance to come from there. So he volunteered to get all three of us. So thank you so much, Srinivas Sharan Prabhu. And I was thinking as to what can be an ideal topic of discussion for today. There are so many things that we can speak about. We can speak about Krishna, we can speak about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we can speak about Prasadam. There's so many things to speak about, but I thought, and I think all of us would resonate, it is that time and it is that weekend where every post on social media, Maryana Purushottam Ramachandra Bhagwan Ki Jai! Jai Shri Ram! Jai Shri Ram! Shri Ram को भी लगे कि भक्त तैयार है. Wow. So we will try to speak something from the pages of Ramayana. You see in India, back in India, those are Indians, it is very easy to accept Sri Ram as God. Eka Patni Vrata, very obedient to his father Dasharath Maharaj. Father says go to forest, he goes. In Kali Yuga, father will say something to the son will say generation gap. It happens. I remember I was in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
He will go to 911.
From 911 I remember something. I was in Boston. Let's start from there. I was in Boston briefly in 2016 and I was staying at a house. They were Punjabi couples. And you see, oftentimes, of course not a blanket, but generally Punjabis are a little hot by nature, short tempered. Khoon garam hota hai. That's a right phrase. Not true. Okay. Exceptions may be there. So he was a Punjabi. And his children are really naughty. They were typical Americans brought up in Boston. So they were very naughty. And I would ask him that, how do you make sure that he masti nahi kare? Because I remember when I was small, if I would do something, my father's hand would be ready. Hand would be ready, belt would be ready. I have been a recipient of all that mercy. Now you can't do that in America because the moment you do it, 911 is ready. And it comes back on the parents. Parents are put behind bars. So I asked that Punjabi gentleman who was also devotee, disciple of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj. I asked him, how do you शासन कैसे करते हो? अगर थप्पड़ वप्पड़ मारना है या कुछ सिखाना है, it will always happen, and at some point parents will be angry and they would want to make sure they get the child on track. So I would say, how do you do it? This is Boston, this is America, and you can't do it. If you do it, they will call 911. So what do you do? So that devotee said, that is why I take my child once a year to India. जो भी थप्पड़ मार रहा है इंडिया जाके लगाता हूँ फिर लेके आता हूँ. Please don't take inspiration. Please don't say हम क्लास में सुने थप्पड़ मारना बच्चे को इंडिया लेके जाओ मार के लेके आओ. That is not the format. But the spontaneity with which he said, that is why I take him once a year to India. जो भी करना उधर करके ताकि यहाँ लेके आओ. So we were saying that as to how it's easy for people to accept Ram as God. Eka Patni Vrata, very obedient to his father. But Krishna is a very tricky person. Krishna, he speaks lies. He steals. Of the 8 queens he married, 4 he kidnapped. And then in the Bhagavad Gita he says, you should follow principles. Krishna is a very tricky person. And that is why oftentimes we have our reservations. But Ram, it's very easy to accept him. Always protected. Even if he was away from Ayodhya, he made sure wherever he was protecting the locals. So we see that Srimad Bhagavatam, which is a celebrated book that speaks about Krishna. There are two books. One is Bhagavad Gita and second is Srimad Bhagavatam. Who can tell me what the difference is between Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam? Can anyone tell? Yes.
Gita is the dish which is given by Krishna during the war,
Correct.
and Bhagavad Gita is the whole life story of all his incarnations of God.
Correct. Bhagavad Gita is the words of God and Bhagavatam is about God. That's the difference. So, it's very beautifully explained that when Shukadev Goswami, who is the speaker of the Srimad Bhagavatam, and the listener is Parikshit Maharaj. Parikshit Maharaj was someone who was extremely rich. He owned kingdoms. Not just kingdom, the whole Mother Earth belonged to him. So if we think we are rich, in fact our richness is nothing. If Mukesh Ambani sees our bank account, just peanuts, yes. The number of zeros that he will have in his bank account and the number of zeros that we have in our bank account, provided we have a 1 before that. अगर सिर्फ zero रहा, आगे एक नहीं रहा, फिर घंटा गोपाल. So our richness is nothing. But Parikshit Maharaj was the Mukesh Ambani of Mukesh Ambanis. The whole Mother Earth belonged to him. He owned everything. And then when he got to know, he has only 7 days. The good thing is, he at least knew he had 7 days. हमें पता भी नहीं हमारे पास 7 दिन है, 7 घंटे है, 7 मिनट है या 7 सेकंड है ना? कई बार हम देखते हैं, especially during COVID, so many times the person with whom we interacted so much, next 24 hours we get the news that that person is not there. So human life, Bhagavatam explains, is like a bubble. It can burst anytime. लब्ध्वा सुदुर्लभमिदं बहुसंभवन्ते मानुष्यमर्थदम अनित्यम अपीहतीरा तूर्णं यतेत नपतेत मृत्यु यावन् निश्रेयसाय भगवत् खलु सर्वतस्य. The 11th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam very beautifully explains human life goes by in a flash. It really goes by in a flash. Now for those who are parents, I remember when I have heard this time and again from my parents, this phrase, that when they would see me or my brother, they would remember their childhood. कि अरे हम भी करते थे ये. When my brother or I would play cricket, my father would remember his childhood when he would play cricket. But now circumstances such, you have family responsibilities. खेलने की इच्छा है लेकिन समय नहीं है, right? For all the men who are there, all of us would have played cricket. But now interest is there, responsibilities have grabbed us on all sides that we don't have time for anything. And as we see from age 10 to 20 to 30 to 40 to 50 to 60, it just goes by in a flash. All of us when we are 15, we think, hey, wait a minute, I was 20 just probably a few years back. 20 से 50 कब निकल गए पता ही नहीं चला. 25 में नौकरी, 26 में छोकरी. Right? And then you have a family, you have kids, and then you maintain that family, you need a house. Then you need a car, then you need a bigger house, then sometimes 2 houses, then both houses mortgage, home loan, 2 cars. I was about to say it. Then comes the Tesla. Then Tesla Model 3, Model S, then Y. Then is Model X that opens like the wings of Garuda. गरुड़ जी के जैसा खुलता है वो, ऐसा बंद होता. If you have not seen the Model X, you can go out. There is a red Model X standing, waiting for all of you all to see how it opens like a Garuda. Belonging to Srinivas Karan Prabhu. Oh, 2.
And Vipul Prabhu. Yeah, that's the second one. Vipul Prabhu.
There are so many Garudas. So many Garudas.
कौन बोलता है गरुड़ा सिर्फ भारत में, अपना सिएटल में भी गरुड़ा है. So it's a never-ending thing, right? When we go to the Supreme Lord, what do we pray? If you see, in the earlier times, those who were like Prahlad Maharaj, Dhruv Maharaj, they would pray for the Supreme Lord. हिंदी में बहुत सुंदर कहावत है, बोलते हैं भगवान से मत मांगो, भगवान को मांगो, है ना? भगवान से मत मांगो, भगवान को मांगो, क्योंकि अब जब भगवान को मांगते हो, उनके पास जो वस्तु है, उनके पास जो है, वो भी आपका बन जाता है. When you ask God, you also get the things that He possesses. So Srila Prabhupada, who's the founder of ISKCON, he will say, don't strike business deals with Krishna. Don't strike business deals even with Ram. Why? Because he's a better businessman. He may not be Gujarati, but he is a better businessman. You see, every congregation or every state has some traits. You go to Cincinnati, Columbus, filled with Gujaratis. You talk to them about IT, it doesn't resonate. The moment you say laundromat, hotel, motel, gas station, they're ecstatic. Because now they can resonate. But in Seattle, if you speak about Gujarati or gas station, they cannot resonate. The moment you see
AI.
Microsoft and Java, Amazon, Chala Bagunti, Telugu. Here, all that works is Telugu. I remember when I first came to Seattle, it was 2019, summer of 2019. And I am a South Indian, but I am Tamil. So I don't understand Telugu. And for those who are not South Indians, we are not Madrasis. I remember when I am from Maharashtra, born and brought up in Maharashtra, Mumbai. And for the Maharashtrians, everyone is Madrasi. Telugu is Madrasi, Tamil is Madrasi, Malayalam is Madrasi, Kannada is Madrasi, and some Madrasi. We are different. Bada farak hai. So, I remember when I came for the first time, in our congregation itself, two devotees were speaking, both were Telugus. So they were speaking in Telugu. And I was standing. Kabab mein haddi. I didn't understand anything that they were speaking. So 10 minutes I was standing because it didn't look good if I leave the conversation. So I was standing. And after 10 minutes I thought, I think it's time. So I told them, maybe we can speak in English. Or maybe Hindi. Hindi is national language in India. English, America. Maybe English or Hindi. So maybe we can have this so that I can also understand. That devotee looked at me and said, Prabhuji, why don't you learn Telugu? I said, this is height. I come to America and two Telugus are talking and you expect me to learn Telugu so that I follow your conversation. So here it's more predominant Telugu. And I have seen this, probably we would have also noticed. Wherever IT jobs are there, Telugus are there. Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita says, Yatra Gayanti Madhubhakta Tatra Dishtam. That wherever my glories are sung, Naradmuni I am there. Likewise, wherever IT jobs are there, Telugus are there. United States of Andhra Pradesh. Telugu Desham. That day is not for your devotees. When Telugu is going to become first language of America. We are fast catching up. We are going to throw the locals out and make it a Telugu prominent.
We just left by a thin margin. Otherwise, Vivek Ramaswamy would have been the president.
Oh, Krishna. So we see Maryada Purushottam Ramachandra, such an ideal personality from whom we can learn so much. We were talking about Parikshit Maharaj, as to how Parikshit Maharaj practically gave up everything and sat on the banks of Ganges, Ganga. गंगा के तट पर मानो सब कुछ त्याग करके शुकदेव गोस्वामी के श्रीमुख से कथा श्रवण करने के लिए आए थे. And at that point, Parikshit Maharaj, who was so interested to hear katha, his son was very different. Father is into bhakti, son is least interested. Typical Kali Yuga scene. Father is interested, son is not interested. Hiranyakashipu, demon. His son, Prahlad, divine. His son, Virochan, demon. His son, Bali, divine. Father, demoniac, son, divine. Demoniac, divine. So, Parikshit Maharaj's son who was there, by the name Janamejaya, he was not very interested. Father is very interested. Practically left everything, son is not very interested. So one sadhu by the name Angira Rishi, we would have heard the name Angira Muni. Angira Muni was called and said, "Hey, son is not very interested. You do something." क्या करे? जब घी सीधी उंगली से ना निकले, उंगली टेढ़ी करनी पड़ती है. So Angira Muni was called and said, "You do whatever it takes, but make sure he's at least sitting down to hear about the Lord." भक्त बन जाए, राक्षस ना बने. आप कुछ भी कीजिए, बस ये देख लीजिए कि राक्षस ना बने, भक्त बन जाए. Angira Muni said, "Okay." Angira Rishi came to Janamejaya, the son of Parikshit, and just said 2 words. He just said 2 words. First one, please repeat. Vanabhangam. And second, Goharanam. Vanabhangam, Goharanam. What's the first? Second? What is the second? 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 And second? And first? Vanabhangam and Goharanam. Now, like the way we would think, अरे इसका मतलब क्या है? What does it mean? So Janamejaya said, "Hey, what does this mean? Vanabhangam, what is Vanabhangam? What is Goharanam?" So Angira Muni from Vanabhangam explained as to how Hanuman went to Ashokvan and set the whole Ashokvan on fire. And from Goharanam, he explained as to how the cows of Maharaj Virata from Mahabharata were stolen and Arjuna went and reclaimed them back. So what is the first one? Second? So from Vanabhangam, he explained as to how the forest of Ashok was completely set on fire by Hanumanji. And from Goharanam, he explained as to how the cows of Maharaj Virata were stolen and Arjuna went and reclaimed it back. Now, Janamejaya said, "Okay, but why did Hanuman even do that? What was the need to set something on fire? And who is Arjuna? Who is Maharaj Virata? And why were the cows stolen? If you want to say, please explain completely. Don't just say thoda thoda." It started with one word. Then it became one sentence. Then Angira Muni downloaded the whole Ramayana to me. Pura Ramayana suna diye. And likewise for Mahabharata, full download. Full 10 GB was downloaded. It started with one word, then one sentence, and then full epic was explained to him. I was in South Carolina and I was saying this as to how cows of Maharaj Virata were stolen. And after class, one 6-year-old boy came to me. Bacche man ke sache. So he 6-year-old boy, he came to me and he said, "Prabhuji, Virat had cows?" So I said, "Yes." He said, "In the TV I only see him with a bat." I said, "Arey Baba, not Virat Kohli." He really thought sitting on the Vyasa and I was talking about Virat Kohli. The sincerity with which he asked, मुझे मना करने के लिए भी डर लग रहा था. वो इतना प्यार से पूछा. So both are different personalities. Sadly, the sad reality is, Virat Kohli is more popular than Maharaj Virata of Mahabharata. So here, Janamejaya, who was earlier not interested to hear, now hears one word, then hears one sentence, then hears the complete epic, and now becomes interested to know more about Ramayana and to know more about Mahabharata. So the father was interested, son was not interested. Eventually the son becomes interested in hearing about the Supreme Lord. One time, one son went to his father and said, "My dear father, Ram became great by following his father Dasharath Maharaj, and Prahlad became great by not following his father Hiranyakashipu. My dear father, what should I do? Should I follow you or not?" Valid question. Question is valid. Ram became great by following his father Dasharath Maharaj, and Prahlad became great by not following his father Hiranyakashipu. My dear father, what should I do? Should I follow you or not? Father is also very intelligent. Father said, "My dear son, this is not Satya Yuga. This is not even Treta Yuga, but this is Kali Yuga. And in Kali, it is good for both of us that we follow your mother." घर में सुख शांति आ गए, ओम जय जगदीश हरे. We follow your mother, things will be peaceful. some are already internally agreeing. जो कई सारे प्रभु जी हैं अंदर ही अंदर सोच रहे प्रभु जी एकदम सही बोला एकदम तीर निशाने पर लगा प्रभु जी. Yesterday I was talking to one devotee from our Seattle congregation. So there was some conversation, and of course he's married, he has 2 kids. So he was telling me we were having some conversation, and his wife was also standing there. And you see how the grahasthas who are married, they have their own jokes. इतने साल साथ साथ रह लिए, अंदर ही अंदर ज्ञान से विज्ञान बन गया. You have many realizations. So he was telling me in front of his wife, he was telling me, he said, Prabhuji, I'll just give you 2 formulas. Always remember this whenever you get married. I said, okay, what are the 2 formulas? He said, first, wife is always correct. Whatever she says, nod your head. And second, when you have distress and you don't know what to do, remember rule number 1. That she is always correct. सब समझ गए. जितने भी यहाँ ज्ञानी पुरुष हैं सब समझ गए. बेचारे डर डर के कुछ बोल नहीं रहे हैं.
जय श्री राम.
अब आया कोई शेर. Oh Krishna. So we see that there was a hunter, Ratnakar Naku, and he was into killing. Very popular story. He was into killing. He would kill animals, and if people would come, he would even rob. Primarily a robber, but sometimes he would even kill. And as he would do this to maintain his family, one time Narad Muni came to that location. And Narad Muni is a personality, the transcendental spaceman. He doesn't require Tesla. He travels without Tesla. And faster than Tesla. I always feel this, that it's very easy to drive in America. It's very easy because everyone follows rules. Asli maza India mein. If you can drive in India, you can drive anywhere else.
You should try Chicago.
Or Chicago? Is it that bad?
Yeah.
Oh. As bad as India?
Like Delhi?
Oh, okay. I remember I was in Vrindavan and this was Janmashtami time, 2018, 2019. And I had gone with a devotee who is a local American. He's from Sarasota, Florida. This is the first time he came to Vrindavan. And he had an image of Vrindavan in his head. Vrindavan matlab Bhagavan ka jagah. Devotee sab Radha naam jopenge, which is correct. But the thing that you have in your head and actually that you see, it is a little different. So this is the first time he came to Vrindavan and it was Janmashtami. So you can imagine the crowd was big crowd. And it was evening time. So we were walking in the sidewalk. And as we were walking, we heard someone honking. Now this was foreign for him because you don't honk in America. This honking itself was foreign. And this person behind was honking. So this American devotee looked behind. And the locals who were there, because of the crowd, they were driving motorbike in the sidewalk. So this American, he was surprised. He had only thought of driving vehicles in the road. This is the first time he was introduced to driving vehicles in the sidewalk. Please don't try it. These stunts are performed by expert professionals. Please do not try it. If you try it here, cops will be ready. So this person honked and we looked behind, and for me it was common because come on, we are from India, so these things dekhe, kai baar dekhe. It was very foreign for him, and he looked at that person who was a pakka UP guy. So probably he was not even speaking English. And this person with a heavy American accent looked at him and said, "Why are you driving here? This is meant for the pedestrians." He will not even know what pedestrian means. This is meant for the pedestrians. That bike guy, he drove past, he looked behind and said, "Radhe Radhe." He thought that this American is greeting him. He said, "Radhe Radhe, nikal gaye." And this American devotee was saying, "Why are people like this? Like this is meant for..." I said, "Come on, now you are in Krishna's house. Whatever rules are there are to be followed outside. घर में कोई रूल लागू नहीं होता, है ना? जब अपने घर में हो, घर में कोई रूल नहीं होता. ये ठाकुर जी का घर है, ये भगवान का निज घर है. यहाँ rules follow नहीं होते. This is Krishna's home. So Ratnakar, who was this Daku, he came in touch with Narad Muni. And Narad Muni is such a personality who is always chanting the names of the Supreme Lord. Our predecessor teachers very beautifully explain that when Narad Muni travels, what does he chant? Narayana, Narayana. Yes, he chants the name of Narayan. At the same time, he also chants the name of Radha and Krishna. Narad Muni bajaye veena Radhika Ramana नामे. हमारे जो नारद मुनि हैं वीणा बजाते हैं और वीणा बजाते बजाते राधा और कृष्ण के गुणगान करते हैं, साथ ही साथ नारायण नारायण भी जपते हैं. The image of Narad Muni that we have is little different from what is explained in the Shastra. If you have seen the daily soaps in India, Narad Muni is always shown as someone जो बहुत चुगली करते हैं, है ना? He is always shown as someone कि बहुत चुगली करते हैं. इनको चुगली करने में मजा आता है. He is someone who instigates. Narad Muni is not such a personality. He is the Lord's dear associate. He works, functions on behalf of the Supreme Lord. And whatever is beneficial for the Lord and his devotees, that is what he will speak. Sometimes it will break the heart, and sometimes it is very sweet for the ear to hear. Here is Narad Muni comes in front of Ratnakar Daku and tells him, what are you doing? And first of all, who are you? And Ratnakar is in no mood to have any conversation. So he says, whatever wealth you have, give all the wealth to me. And now Narad Muni is a sannyasi. So what wealth will a sannyasi have?
Bhakti.
Huh?
Bhakti.
Bhakti, yes. He has bhakti. But what is Ratnakar looking out for? Is he looking for bhakti? Or is he looking out for
Money.
ना बाप बड़ा ना भैया, बेटा सबसे बड़ा रुपया. They are all looking for that, right? Many of us who come to America, we do our masters. Sometimes we do our bachelors. Primarily, many of us come to the US to do our masters. Hands on your heart. Are you coming to the US to do masters? Or are you coming for that dollar conversion? 83, 84. That is the inspiration, right? Padai theek hai. Padai is the means by which you enter the country. But once you enter, invariably whatever we did in our masters is not what we are working. पढ़ाई कुछ और किए, काम कुछ और कर रहे हैं. So attraction is primarily wealth, and wealth in the form of money. And this is what Ratnakar was looking out for. Narad Muni said, I don't have that. He said, well, this is what I want. And now that you're crossing through this forest, you have to give me something. Narad Muni said, I'll ask you a question, if that's okay. He said, okay, go ahead. Narad Muni said, please hear this. Narad Muni very beautifully, he asked him, the sins that you are committing, of killing birds, of killing animals, of robbing people, you said that you're doing it for your family members, is that right? He said, yes, I'm doing it for my family members. Because if I don't do it, how will my family maintain themselves? So I am the head of the family, I have to do it. So Narad Muni said, the sins that you're doing by killing these animals, the wealth that is there, that is being shared by your family members. But will your family members also share the sins that you're doing? उसमें भी भागीदार बनेंगे क्या? जो पाप करते हो आप, उसमें भी क्या आपके परिवार वाले साथीदार बनेंगे? He said, of course. What do you mean? I earn all this wealth for them. Of course. Narad Muni said, let's try something. Please go back and ask your family. Ratnakar said, no. You are sending me so that if I go to my home, यहाँ से आप कट लोगे. You will leave from here. He said, no, I will wait for you. You go back, speak to your family, and then come back. This Ratnakar, he went to his family members, he went to his wife, he went to his children, and said, well, I have a question. I am killing animals, you know that? They said, yes, we know. I am killing birds, you know that? They said, yes, we know. You also know I am robbing. So you are enjoying the wealth that I am providing. Will you also partake in the sins that I do? They said, hey, cheat. Why should we do? He said, hey, come on, I am doing it for you. They said, wait a minute. It is your job to maintain us, that is correct. But we didn't tell you to rob. We didn't ask you to kill. You took up that profession. Did we ask you? You said no. Then you took up this profession. We are not going to share anything. The benefits we will reap, but not the sins that you commit. Ratnakari came back to Narad Muni and said, who are you? I never thought of this. How is that this question came up in your mind, and who are you? Kaun ho aap? Narad Muni starts speaking about who is he, who he is, and what his identity is. And eventually, they come to the point where Ratnakar wants to atone for his sins. He looks at Narad Muni and says, what am I supposed to do? Narad Muni says, very easy. Just chant the name Ram. 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 Simple, just chant the name of Ram. And whatever sins you've committed, keep chanting the name of Ram, 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 Ram. Whatever sins you've committed, the Lord will take care. Provided you take this promise that you will not do it. ऐसा नहीं कि ये भी करते रहे भगवान नाम भी जपते रहे. That doesn't work. That is playing on the strength of the Lord's name. The name of the Lord will work provided we take this promise that जो भी पहले पाप किए हैं, जो भी कर रहे हैं, ये अब से ना करें. If we can stop that, then the name of the Lord will work. Now he was into killing all his life. The name of Ram was not coming on his mouth. He tried. It's not coming. Narad Muni understood. Here is another example of Janmejaya. इनको सीधा बोलेंगे तो ये लेंगे नहीं. थोड़ा घुमा फिरा के देना पड़ेगा. He said, you have killed all your life. Can you say Mara? He said Mara. 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 Huh? This I can say. This is my forte. I have done PhD in this. All my life, this is what I am doing. So Mara is very easy for me. Narad Muni said, keep chanting Mara. Mara, Mara, Ram, 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 Ram. From Mara, 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 Ram, Ram, Ram. Was he chanting Mara or was he actually chanting the name of Sri Ram? That was the name of Sri Ram. Narad Muni transcendentally tricked him and got him to the chanting of the names of Sri Ram. Eventually, he was so infatuated, so intoxicated by the chanting of the name of Sri Ram that a complete anthill was formed upon him. He practically gave up eating, he practically gave up sleeping, and was practically atoning. जितने भी पाप किए हैं, अब प्रायश्चित करने का समय आ गया. So he was constantly chanting the name of Ram, so much so that an anthill was completely formed upon him. He lost track of time. He lost track as to where he is. He lost track of everything. He lost track of his family members. Only with this one agenda: Ram, Ram, Moram, Moram, Moram. An anthill was formed. This name of Ram purified him so much that this anthill in Sanskrit is called as Valmikam. What is it called? Valmikam. And that personality who emerged from the Valmikam is Valmiki. Is Valmiki. Now, that personality who comes out from the Valmikam is Valmiki. And what was he doing inside chanting the names of Sri Ram? He chanted the names of Sri Ram so much that he who was a dacoit, who was a robber, who was a thief, was empowered to write the most authentic life history of Prabhu Sri Ram. Dear devotees, whoever we are, wherever we are from, whatever our background is, male, female, Indian, American, adult, old person, young person, irrespective of caste, creed, race, gender, nationality, whoever we are, if we can be sincere in calling out to the name of Sri Ram, if a dacoit can be empowered to write a scripture, what to speak of you and I? हम तो चोरी नहीं करते, नहीं करते ना? नहीं करते ना? Question mark है. I hope you don't. We don't steal. We are not robbers. We are not dacoits. We don't kill people. So at least from that standpoint, we are better. So if he can get that supreme benefit, what to speak of you and I? What supreme good fortune awaits all of us if we can start chanting of the name of Sri Ram. One time in Lanka, Ravan got to know that his brother, who's Ravan's brother? Kumbhakaran and पहला नाम कुंभकर्ण आता है. That's how we can connect, right? This is the most favorite thing that we do, sleeping. Some are already, and some will do after the class ends. I always say this is the best seat in the house. From here, the speaker exactly knows who is attentive, who is sleeping, whose eyes are open but internally sleeping, and who's internally, externally both sleeping. अब सब आगे हो रहे हैं. It's a very nice seat in the house. कुछ तो अभी जबरदस्ती आँख खोल रहा है, क्या करे, बोल दिया नहीं. Recording भी हो रहा है. So two brothers, Kumbhakaran and Vibhishan. Of them, Vibhishan is someone who we should ideally resonate with. Character-wise, perfect. No blotch. Here is Vibhishan. Ravan now gets to know that Vibhishan inside his house, in every wall he has written Ram, 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 Ram. So Ravan comes to his house and says, hey, what is this? You are my brother and you are writing the name of my enemy. You are in my Lanka and you are my brother and you are writing the name of my enemy. What is this? Have some shame. Every wall was just Ram, Ram, Ram. Vibhishan said, no, it is not that Ram. Ra stands for Ravan. Ma stands for Mandodri. I am writing Ravan, Mandodri, Ravan, Mandodri, Ravan, Mandodri. Ravan said, good. Every wall of Lanka should have Ram, 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 Ram. भक्ति बहुत चतुर होते हैं. टोपी लगाना भक्त से सीखे. बहुत सुंदर तरीके से टोपी लगाते हैं. But actually Vibhishan was not writing Ravan Mandodri, Ravan Mandodri. He was writing Ram. The Gaudiya understanding of Ram is Ra stands for Radha, Mo stands for Madhava. Ram. So here we see the name of Sri Ram is so powerful that someone who was practically a decoy ended up becoming a devotee, and such a devotee was empowered to write a scripture. Srila Prabhupada, who is the founder of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, one time was giving initiations, दीक्षा ले रहे थे. तो कई भक्तों को ऐसे दीक्षा दी और विदेश से, पाश्चात्य देश से, from the land of America, one devotee got initiated, and Prabhupada gave him the name Hamsa Dutta Das. Now, interestingly, his previous name, he is from a German origin, so his name was Hans Carey. And he didn't like his name because that time you had the Jew, German, all this conflict, so he didn't like his name. So he was thinking, wow, if I get initiated, name will change. So his desire of joining ISKCON was name will change. For most of us, the desire for joining ISKCON is prasadam. I'll tell you a typical program. For class, for katha, there will be 50 people. For prasadam, there will be 150. From where that extra 100 comes, even he doesn't know. अचानक बाहर चप्पल पड़ जाते हैं. That is why we are very smart. We kept prasadam first. पहले आके प्रसाद पा लिया, आप कहाँ जाओगे? अब तो बैठना ही पड़ेगा. So Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, this Hans Carey, he came, German origin, he came to Srila Prabhupada, and Prabhupada said, from this day onwards, your name is Hamsadutta Dasadhikari. So he said, Achha. Prabhupada, what does it mean? Prabhupada said, very easy. Your name was Hans earlier, add a Duta after that, Hansa Duta. And your last name was Carey, just add an Ali before that. Hands the Duta Das Adhikari. He thought, my goodness. Before initiation also names him, after initiation also names him. Prabhupada tricked him. So he was there in the morning walk. And he said, Prabhupada, what does Hamsa Duta mean? Prabhupada said, read Bhagavatam. And that time, Bhagavatam was not fully published. You didn't have Veda base. No control F. So you could not check. Control F नहीं कर सकते. Prabhupada said, read Bhagavatam. अब Bhagavatam के कौन से पन्ने के कौन से ग्रंथ के कौन से स्कंद पढ़े? Which canto to read? So he didn't speak anything. After 6 months, he was again in a morning walk. He again mustered courage and said, Prabhupada, what does Hamsa Duta mean? Prabhupada said, read Bhagavatam. He thought, oh my goodness, this is too much. He is giving me initiation. It's been 1 year. I don't know what Hamsa Duta means. एक साल हो गया दीक्षा हो के नाम का अर्थ ही नहीं पता. Another 6 months went by. Prabhupada was in Toronto, Canada, and he was in a room. And Prabhupada was saying, Brahmananda means this, Tamal Krishna means this, Karandara means this, Jai Advaita means this. Prabhupada was giving different names. He was giving the meaning. In that group conversation, Hamsadutta Prabhu was also present. He thought, oh, this is the right opportunity. He put his hand up and said, Prabhupada, who is Hamsadutta? Prabhupada said, you. He said, my goodness, what is this? He's behind my case. He is giving name, meaning to everyone. Last 1.5 years when I am asking, he is not replying. And Prabhupada would transcendently play with it. Prabhupada knew his heart. Eventually, of course, Prabhupada told him. But khichadi chal rahi thi. Because Prabhupada was in his 70s and Hamsadutta was 20. So it was like a grandfather and grandson. So Prabhupada, he would give meaning to everyone. Tamal Krishna this, Brahmananda this, Hamsadutta, Prabhupada, who is Hamsadutta? You. Prabhupada did that for a long time. So name of the Lord is very, very powerful. And it is this name that caused purification. In the Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, or Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami that speaks about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, very beautifully there is a pastime described. Dam Shri Damshra Hata Mlecha Harameti Puna Puna Uktvapi Muktim Apnoti Kim Puna Shraddhaya Granan. The Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya explains that one time there was a Muslim person. Okay? One time there was a Muslim person and he was in the forest attending nature's call. And as he was in the forest attending nature's call, a wild boar started chasing him. In the forest, attending nature's call, a wild boar starts chasing. He starts thinking to himself, my goodness, here also I don't have peace. एक काम करना है उसमें भी शांति नहीं. So he starts running. Now he's running. This wild boar is chasing. Because for the wild boar, this person is Mahaprasad and Govind. उसको भी बेचारा भूख लग रहा है. इंसान को देख के खाने का मन किया. Now he's chasing. This person is running, and because he is Muslim, so he looks at the wild boar and says, "Haram." It's abominable. Haram. Hey, go and haram. The Chaitanya Charitamrita explains when he said haram, Sri Ram heard it as haram. Haram iti puna. What happened after that? Uktvapi muktim apnoti. He got delivered. He got liberated. Good deal, right? हर राम बोल के भगवान सुन लिया हर राम करके. Does it mean we chant हर राम? श्री राम से प्रोग्राम के स्टार्ट में अयोध्या किए प्रोग्राम एंड होते हर राम कर रहे हो. That is not what we are encouraging. But here the point is brought in the Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita that Uktvapi muktim apnoti. This person who was saying abominable, haram, Lord heard it as haram. Uktvapi muktim apnoti. Mukti मिल गई उसे. भागवत धाम चला गया. Kim puna shraddhaya grinan. Chaitanya Charitamrita says, what to speak of that person who chants the name of Sri Ram with faith? If this is the ultimate destination a person can get without any faith, if he can get Sri Ram without any faith, what to speak of the supreme destination that you and I will get if we chant the name of Sri Ram with faith? So with faith, let us all loudly chant Sri Ram so much so that he can hear all of us. मर्यादा पुरुषोत्तम रामचंद्र भगवान की जय। मजा नहीं आया? थोड़ा और प्रसाद सब ले लिया ना प्रसाद? और है ना प्रसाद? हाँ, there is more. You can take to go also. You can sit here also and eat. Let it be much louder. मर्यादा पुरुषोत्तम रामचंद्र भगवान की जय। Much louder. मर्यादा पुरुषोत्तम रामचंद्र भगवान की जय। अब लग रहा है Friday night program. BC. The last few minutes of our discussion, we were speaking about Valmiki, how he became Valmiki, and how the name of Sri Ram transformed him. It's very interesting. One time, Valmiki had a disciple by the name Bharadwaja Rishi. One time, Valmiki Muni and Bharadwaja Rishi went to a nearby river to take bath. Because in those days, they would take bath in the river. There was no jacuzzi, no hot water sauna. None of these things. They would take bath traditional, rural type. Just many of our probably forefathers also, when they were in the village, they would fetch water from the well and they would take bath. But now it's very, very foreign. But there was a time when it was practiced in India. Valmiki Muni and Bharadwaja Rishi, his disciple, both of them were taking bath in a river. And there were two crownshaw birds, two birds that were sitting, a male and a female. And as they were having their time, as the birds were having their own gala time, out of nowhere a hunter came. And this hunter, he picked up his arrow, because for the hunter that is Mahaprasad. So he picked up his arrow, shot, and that arrow pierced in and out the chest of the male bird. And that male bird who was happily speaking to the partner, next moment, down to the ground, bleeding profusely, not even able to move. And the female crownshaw bird who was there is looking around frantically. Hey, wait a minute, what just happened? We were talking, everything was picture perfect. What just happened? Who is this hunter? Should I go down to protect my partner or should I just fly away? This female bird, few minutes back, who was happy, was now lamenting, was now crying. And all this, Valmiki Muni saw. Now please note, Valmiki Muni had the same history. He was a hunter. So it was deja vu. It was deja vu for him. Like, where? I've seen this scene. You have not seen this scene, you were that scene. Because he was doing it earlier. And now, he gets so angry because now there's a transformation in his heart, Valmiki. He gets so angry, he curses the hunter. Hey, what kind of man are you? You come out of nowhere and destroy, quote unquote, the grahastha life of the two birds, and you kill them? I curse you. There will be nothing good in your life. All that you have, you lose everything. I curse you. The hunter said, wait a minute, what is my fault? I am a hunter. Hunter is meant to kill. Valmiki pronounced this curse and he left. When Valmiki went back to his ashram, he thought to himself, I am a sadhu. I should not be cursing like this. I also had the same past, so I should be compassionate upon him. Instead of being compassionate, Narad Muni didn't curse me when I was doing the same thing. How did I curse him? Oh Krishna, oh Ram, what just happened? At that time, Brahmaji came there. Brahmaji has 4 heads. Brahma is a quad-core processor, 4 heads. He is the transcendental quad-core processor. It's very interesting. For Brahmaji, he has 4 heads, which means 8 eyes. So imagine if Brahma is there in a katha. 4 eyes can sleep, remaining 4 can hear katha. Good deal, right? हमें तो 2 ही मिला है. 8 आँख है, उसमें से 6 भी सो सकते हैं. सोने का सोना भी हो रहा है. कथा का कथा भी हो रहा है. One time, one devotee, he came to our local ISKCON temple, not here, in India. And you have a book called as the Krishna art book. And you have different photos of Krishna in that. Krishna, Mahavishnu, etc. So there's one photo where Mahavishnu is sleeping. And around him are different planets. This newcomer who came, he flipped through different pages and said, "This is my favorite photo." So that temple president who was there, he said, "There are so many nice photos of Radha Krishna, of Sita Ram. सब छोड़ के यही photo मिला." He said, "It is very nice. भगवान सो भी रहे, साथ ही साथ काम भी कर रहे हैं. How I wish I also have this benediction. When I go to office, I can sleep at the same time my work is also going on." Of course, if that is provided if you have hybrid. If you are work from home, then you can be Mahavishnu anytime. If it's of course hybrid or 5 days a week, then God bless you. But if it's work from home, then मन मर्जी के मालिक.
My husband works from home, prabhu upstairs. Do you think he just sleeps?
What's your say? He is following rule number 1. जो भी वाइफ बोले. Because उनको पता है प्रोग्रामों के सब घरे चले जाएंगे, मेरे को तो यही घर में रहना है. I don't have to take breakfast. Oh Krishna. You go to different congregations like this. For someone like me who is not married, I get a lot of realization. Sitting in one place, I can examine, analyze different couples and the transcendental things that go on between them. It comes, and mostly it comes from the men. I don't know if there is some logic in that, but often it comes from the men. The transcendental realizations that the men have.
You will understand next year.
Huh?
You will understand next year.
So next year when I come, I'm getting married this summer.
All the best.
अब आया हूँ पहाड़ के नीचे. You see the all service also came from the Prabhuji. Oh, I hope my fiancé is not seeing this. So where were we? Valmiki, yes. Ah, yes. Thank you. What happened?
You just thought about your fiancé and then you forgot everything.
Oh, Krishna.
Radhe Radhe.
भगवान बचा ले मुझे. Because after all, I also need a breakfast.
This is the first realization.
You see, it's all coming from the men. Oh, Krishna. So, Valmiki Muni. Of course, he was not married.
He was.
Well, correct. We are there in the discussion. Good. Sometimes we are so much in the flow of the discussion that it so happens that whatever the speaker, आप बोलिए प्रभु, आप सुनाते रहिए, हम आपके साथ हैं. सुनाइए प्रभु, जो आपको सुनाना सुना, हम आपके साथ हैं. Yes, so earlier he was married, and now as sadhu, as Valmiki, he's a renunciant. Brahmaji comes to him, and he looks at Brahmaji, falls at his feet, and says, "What just happened? You know everything. You created. You know everything. What just happened? Why did I curse?" Brahmaji said, "Don't worry. I made you do that." He said, why on earth would you make me curse someone? I am trying to rectify. I've already done so much. इतने पाप किए हैं. I am trying to rectify. Now you are sitting on my tongue and making me do again things that I did in the past, which I don't want to do. Why? Narad Muni also gave that to me. Narad Muni said, in fact, Narad Muni initiated Valmiki and said, "You curse that hunter because that hunter killed one of the crown shepherds." Is that correct? Valmiki said yes. But did you notice when you cursed? During those days, curse were of course not in English. It was in Sanskrit or Avdhi Bhasha. So you cursed, and whatever you cursed, if you notice, they were of 4 lines, and it followed a particular meter. Like for example, we have Bhagavad Gita. Manmana bhava mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mame vishasi Tvaivam atmanam praya. This is Anushrup Chanda. The meter is called Anushrup Chanda. Tan, 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 tan. Like that, you have different chandas, different meters in Sanskrit. And how are these meters decided? Based on the number of syllables that are there in each line, that's how meters decided. Not that we whimsically chant verses the way we want, but the number of syllables in each line decides कौन से tune में गाना है, कौन से meter में गाना है. Now the curse was pronounced and Narad Muni said, if you notice, you curse, but you curse in a particular meter. So Valmiki said, okay, but still what does it mean? Narad Muni said, I empower you, I initiate you, I empower you. You have chanted the name of Sri Ram so much. I want you to write about the life of Sri Ram in the same meter in which you curse that meter. Said, so be it. Gurudev, if this is your desire, so be it. The whole of Valmiki Ramayana was written in the same meter in which he had cursed that hunter. And it was Narad Muni and Brahma who came and enlightened his heart. So the cursing was not something that he wanted, but he was just an instrument so that the scripture comes out. Valmiki Muni was contemporary to Sri Ram. He was in the same time. So much so that he got so empowered that he started writing the pastimes of Sri Ram, including the pastimes that had not even occurred. जो लीलाएं हुए भी नहीं थे, वाल्मीकि मुनि इतने निपुण हो गए. He became so expert. He started writing. Why? Because practically Sri Ram had jumped into his heart and empowered him. He wrote the whole of Ramayana. He wrote everything. He just didn't write one thing. Valmiki Muni did not write as to how Sita Devi entered Mother Earth after all the past life. Why? Because later it is Valmiki Muni. At one point he speaks the Ramayana to Lava and Kush. And Lava and Kush are the children of Prabhu Sri Ram and Maya Sita. So a child will not want to hear the departing face of his mother. And Valmiki Muni, keeping that in mind, he doesn't write that in the Valmiki Ramayana and doesn't even speak of it. So devotee means not just we are practicing, we are also compassionate to others. And in this age of Kali, dear devotees, this is the last couple of minutes. In this age of Kali, no devotional activity supersedes the chanting of the names of the Supreme Lord. Whether it is the names of Sri Ram, whether the names of Krishna, whether the names of Sri Radha, the names of the Supreme Lord are the ultimate. Krite tatyayate Vishnum tretayam yajato makair dvapare paricharyayam kalo tadhari kirtana yad apnavati tad apnavati kalo sankirta keshava. Whatever was obtained in Satya Yuga by meditation, whatever was obtained in Treta Yuga by fire sacrifice, whatever was obtained in Dwapar Yuga by deity worship, the same and much more can be obtained in Kali just by the chanting of the names of the Supreme Lord. And what are they in Kali? Hare Nam, Hare Ram, Hare Ram eva kevalam, Kalo nasti eva, nasti eva, nasti eva katiranyata. There is no other way, no other way, no other way for liberation, for self-realization in Kali. यदि भागवत प्राप्ति हम चाहते हैं, यदि भगवान के पास फिर से जाना चाहते हैं, which is the ultimate aim of human life. Because at the end of the day, this house, the money that we have, the relatives that we have, the cars that we have, we have to leave everything behind. Is it not? We leave practically everything behind. The Bank of America, the Chase Bank, the Wells Fargo is all as it is when the person leaves. In Sanskrit, Subhashit Mala are the good sayings in Sanskrit. There is a very beautiful verse that comes up. ये शास्त्र का श्लोक नहीं है, ये सुभाषित माला से good sayings. जैसे हिंदी भाषा में अच्छे कहावत होते हैं, मराठी, तेलुगु, इंग्लिश, there are good sayings. In Sanskrit, similarly there is subhashit mala, good sayings. Very beautifully it is said. Dhanani bhumau pashavashya goshte nari grihadvara jana whole human life is capsulated in one verse. Please hear this. Even if you didn't hear the whole discussion, it is okay. Just hear this. What happens when a person leaves this world? मृत्यु के तत्पश्चात क्या होता है इस श्लोक में वर्णन किया गया है. धनानि भूमौ, all the money that we earn. In the olden days, they would bury the money. Whatever gold coins that they have, they would bury it underground. When a person departs, all the gold coins, all the money is underground. Now you may think, well, I don't have gold coins, I don't bury it underground. We may not do that, but we still keep it in Bank of America. It's still as it is in Chase Bank. It is still as it is in Wells Fargo, or whatever the other banks are. When the person departs, we can't even take 1 cent. Material nature is so brutal. All that we lived and strived for, the 40 hours, 70 hours, Narayan Murthy, whatever we worked for, every single cent is just left behind. You can't take anything, any damn thing. छाती में भी यदि रखे तो कुछ लेके नहीं जा सकते. धनानि भूमौ. In the olden days, wealth was kept underground. Now we keep wealth in the bank. So it's the same. Pashavashta Goshte. In the earlier days, they had cattle, they had cows, they had bulls, and they would be as it is in the shed after the person departs. Now we may think, wait a minute, I don't have cattle, I don't have cows. Tesla, Mercedes, BMW, it's there in the garage as it is. They couldn't take their cattle, we can't take our cars, we can't take our money. Dhanani bhumau, pashavashta goshte, nari grahadwara. When the male member dies, the wife can come only to the doorstep, according to the Vedic culture. Janahas smashane, the relatives can come only till the cremation ground. Deha chitayam, the body can come only till the fire. Look how brutal material nature is. You can't take your money, you can't take your cows, you can't take your cars, you can't take your wife, you can't take your relatives. Arey Baba, you can't even take your own body. That body that we put so much time and energy upon. I remember when I was in India, when I was small, there would be this ad, Fair and Lovely. Hi handsome, and there would be a person who would put Fair and Lovely, automatically he becomes very Shah Rukh Khan type. And they would keep Shah Rukh Khan as the ambassador. And seeing Shah Rukh Khan, people would purchase. Abhi asal hua ke nahi pata hai. But the aim in so many things that we do, more than pleasing us, is how I can impress the society. We look for validation outside, right? We look for validation. If I have this, is it really for me or is it the status? Come on, I am living in America. What will people say if I just have 1 bedroom? Status. Probably that 1 bedroom is good enough for us if it's just 2 people. We oftentimes look for validation outside and बाकी लोग को खुश करते जीवन ऐसे ही व्यतीत करते हैं. Right? It happens with all of us. So you don't take your money, you don't take your cars, you don't take your wife, you don't take your relatives, you don't take your children, you don't take your body. What do you actually take then? Dhanani bhumau pashavashta goshte nari grahadwar janasmashane देह चिताया परलोक मार्गे कर्माणुगो गच्छति जीवन एकः. जीव अपने कर्म को लेके अगले जगह जाता है. He take whatever activities he has done, whatever karma he has accumulated. It is only that which he can take and go to another place. It's not any of the material assets. So, Valmiki Ramayana, the Srimad Bhagavatam, the Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, and all the saints of the past have time and again emphasized, it's not wrong to earn money. It's not wrong to have a house either. It's not wrong to have a car either. These are necessities. To live, we need these things. But not at the state where we put our bhakti in the back seat. क्योंकि at the end, these things ये तो छूटने नहीं वाला है. आज नहीं तो कल ये तो छूटने ही वाला है. So intelligence isn't that thing that we can take after this life. That is intelligence. Something that I can take after this human birth, that I will accumulate. I will accumulate others also. But things that I can take after this human birth, that I would stress more. Because at the end of the day, these assets are going to stay back. It is the name of the Supreme Lord in this dark age of Kali Yuga, which is the means by which we attain the Lord. Whether it is Valmiki, whether it is so many personalities in the past, those who have attained perfection have taken shelter of the names of the Supreme Lord. Having said this, I really only want to stop here and thank everyone for very kindly being in the discussion, for inspiring me with their very, very kind presence. And before we end, if there is one takeaway, one line essence, all that can be taken, all that can be heard, all that can be sung in this Kali Yuga, भगवान नाम से बढ़कर और कुछ नहीं है, ना कुछ था, ना कुछ है और ना कभी कुछ होगा। यदि भागवत प्राप्ति हम चाहते हैं, यदि चाहते हैं कि भगवान से मिले, भगवान की साक्षात दर्शन हो, तो कलयुग में भगवान नाम से शुरू करना है। शुरू नहीं, the start, middle, end is all the names of the Supreme Lord. Every other thing is just to support our attachment to the chanting of the names of the Lord. The ultimate pinnacle, the zenith, the essence is chanting the names of the Supreme Lord. And those who take shelter, big time, get the mercy of the Supreme Lord. So let us take this endeavor. Let us take this promise. It is never late to start. Whatever our age is, it is never late to start. It is a very, very auspicious time. It's a new year. And the cherry on the cake is the appearance of Sri Ram in Ayodhya. There can never be a better time to now start this process of bhakti, whether it's Ram bhakti or whether it's Krishna bhakti. Let us accept this in our life, perfect our lives, pack up our bags and go back to where we belong. Whether it is Krishna, whether it is Srimati Radharani or it is Prabhu Sri Ram. Having said this, I very humbly want to stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
10 मिनट कीर्तन करें। We spoke so much about the name of the Lord. We spoke so much about chanting of the names of the Lord. But the ultimate perfection is when we put it into practice. क्या फायदा यदि सिर्फ बोलते 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 रहे और जीवन में ना उतारे? Putting it into practice is more important than just speaking more. Feel free to stretch, feel free to stand up. I know we have been sitting for a long time. Just be comfortable, this is your home. Krishna's home. Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Hare Hare Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare Hare.
लोग जा रहे हैं, लोग जा रहे हैं। आगे रखिए दोनों थालियाँ।
Hare ओके कोई बात नहीं बेटा ऐसे बोल मतलब जो दे मैं लाई थी और वो दे रहे हैं तो सबके लिए नहीं दे रहे हरे राम 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 हरे हरे हरे
कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा
हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे पूजा कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम हरे राम राम हरे हरे जय भक्त हनुमान जय भक्त हनुमान
Full conviction, full energy, full steam. Let the host know that the prasadam is digested. They have put in so much effort. Let us show to them that we have honored the prasadam and now we have the energy to call out to the Supreme Lord. Hand up in the air as loud as possible. It's a Friday night, even if you get tired tomorrow Saturday. They don't have meetings, there's no Microsoft Teams, there's no Slack, there's nothing of these things tomorrow. Please stand as loud as possible. Be there for me. In this of a headless student, headless beggar, let's call out to the Supreme Lord. Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Ram